Putting a kit together is really easy. I have my kit set out over there. For basically $350, you can put together your micropipettes, which are really important to do these trials. They measure out very small volumes from like 10 microliters to 100 microliters. And a microliter it takes 1,000 microliters to make 1 milliliter. And so when you're doing these trials, you can see the small volumes that you're dealing with. And you guys have small volumes of wine. You don't want to be taking, every time you do a trial, you don't want to be taking a liter of wine and just trialing something. If you can put something into 50 microliter or 50 milliliters of wine, then, and taste it and know, yeah, that's what I want to do to my wine. If you can take 1 liter and do 10 different trials and work it out and figure out exactly how you need to tweak your wine to dial it in, because you can't afford that much extra wine at these small volumes. So getting some micropipetters as well as a small scale that can weigh out small volumes, some graduated cylinders, just your basic labware. And if you can use it and share it amongst your group, I think it's a very beneficial thing. And then also on that, in those set of 3 postcards on your chair, is a postcard that explains how to do trials. So this is great. We all know how to do math, but reinventing the wheel every time you need to do a trial is it's very time consuming and you second guess yourself all the time. So on those cards, let's look at the one that looks like this and start out on the side that says for powder or granulate products on the far right in pink, because there's 2 sides. One side says for liquids and the other says for granulates. So granulate would be a powdered product. So any of the tannins and autolyse, those come in a powder. So you make a 5% solution of that, which would be adding 2.5 grams dissolved in 50 mils of water. Or you could do 1 gram and 20 mils of water. And from there, you have your micropipetters, which were shown in one of the slides that measure out the very small volumes. So you have a 100 mil sample of wine, and you want to see what a 40 parts per million add of autolyse does to that wine. Well, you follow down from the 100, the column there, you see where it says 100 ml on top. Follow it down to where it says 40 ppm on the left-hand side. Follow where those 2 meet, and it says you would add 80 microliters, which is a very small amount. And so that's why the micropipetters is very important. Swirl it around, taste it. What do you think? Did that do it? I don't know. Taste it next to your control. And maybe it needs maybe you like what it did and you need a little bit more. So try 100 or 120 parts per million. And you just kind of dial it in that way. So, but once again, start dialing in with your tannins and then come back and build with your mouthfeel. So get your aromatics set and then. So
the kits have pipettes?
No, you have to buy the pipettes. That's the expensive part of the kit. Like if you're going to put together like a kit that you share amongst people, buying the micropipetters is the expensive part, and learning how to properly pipette is equally as important. So watch some YouTube videos on how to micropipette because there's 2 stops on it and you want to make sure you never suck liquid up into the pipette itself. So it can be a very beneficial tool, you just have to learn how to use it. And then the other side, the card is for liquid products and it works the same way. It's just if you don't have to make up a solution. What you do is you just use the sample products, the liquid products, straight out of the bottle. And if you want to make a 60 part per million or 60 mils per hectoliter add to say a 50 milliliter sample of wine, you follow those 2 columns together and you'll say, oh, I need to add 30 microliters of this particular product of Mouthfeel to get 30 microliters. Yeah. So if that all makes sense, hopefully. If you have any questions, certainly let me know. But so basically, that is a mouthfeel kit. And we have tons of products. I've brought samples of all the tannins as well as the liquid products as well. So I'll leave those and you can take those and divvy them up yourselves. So if you have any more questions, let me know.
Thank you.